The Cleveland Cavaliers just went from an exciting team that can win a lot of games to a legit contender in the Eastern Conference. This happened overnight with the trade of three-time All-Star Donovan Mitchell. This trade includes Jazz receiving 3 unprotected first-round draft picks, 2 pick swaps, Lauri Markkanen, Collin Sexton, and Kansas prospect Ochoa Agbaji. I think I said that right. Did the Cavs give up too much? I say no, and I'll tell you why. 5 first-round picks is a lot, but if it means to get an all-star player like Donovan Mitchell, you'd have to take it 100% of the time, especially with a team that is one piece away from being an elite basketball team. Those 5 picks can be very deceiving. Barring big injuries, the Cavs should be very good after this trade, so these first-round picks are going to be in the 20s. There are definitely plenty of prospects picked outside of the NBA lottery that go on to be all-NBA/all-star players, but the majority of them usually become role players. There is no sure thing when it comes to the NBA draft, but Donovan Mitchell is as close to a for sure thing as you get. So really, I look at those draft picks as 5 additional role players. Next, let's look into the trade of Collin Sexton. Collin Sexton is a good NBA player and a solid guy to have on the squad, but the Cavs had to get rid of him. To keep him, they would have to pay him a lot more than what they want. It has come clear that Darius Garland is their guard of the future by the extension he just received. Sexton needs the ball in his hands to be effective on offense, which takes away from the usage rating of Darius Garland. Garland is a more efficient player than Sexton with the ball in his hands. In the replacement of Mitchell over Sexton, the Cavs become a more efficient offense. They now have 2 elite playmaking ball handlers. The last 2 pieces of Markkanen and the Kansas prospect are important role players that a lot of teams want, but the Cavs are not losing sleep over the loss of these 2 assets. The Cavs did their rebuild right after the loss of LeBron by hitting big on Garland, Jarrett Allen, and Evan Mobley. The Cavs are taking the next step in the rebuilding process. Once they get those young players, the GM should be looking to win as soon as the young core is assembled, and that is exactly what Koby Altman did with this trade. Let's look at the Cavs lineup for next year. I would assume it would look like the starting lineup will be Garland, Mitchell, Okoro, Mobley, and Allen. Okoro will complement Garland and Mitchell well by giving them perimeter defense, which could be their slight weakness together as a duo, as well as the ability to hit open shots. Mobley and Allen already have shown they can work together by offering elite interior defense, as well as the ability to switch out to the perimeter on ball screens. Coming off the bench is Karis LeVert, who can come in as a playmaker for Mitchell or Garland and can play the role like Tyler Herro does for the Heat, Spencer Dinwiddie for the Mavs, and even Jordan Poole for the Warriors. They have Kevin Love, who brings experience and can get hot from the outside at any time. And they also have Ricky Rubio coming off an injury whenever he's able to play, which adds more depth which is needed. In my opinion, the key for the future of this Cavs team is the growth of Evan Mobley. The Cavs struck gold with Mobley, and he's shown signs of greatness in his rookie season. If he is able to make the next step to become an all-NBA type of player, the sky is the limit for this squad. They had 2 All-Stars last year. They added All-Stars through his trade, and coming back is Evan Mobley, who is a future All-Star type of player. This is a big W for the Cavs no matter what happens, and was a trade that had to be made. In the next few years, I imagine the floor for the Cavs to be a 4 or 5 seed that gets bounced from the first round. That's if the chemistry does not gel well and Mobley does not improve as much. To the ceiling that is an Eastern Conference champion, and that is if the team fits well together and Mobley takes an all-NBA type of leap. Comment down below the floor and ceiling of the Cleveland Cavaliers in the next few years.